Welcome back to Wainsider, where we peel back the curtain on the moments that shake the wrestling world to its core. Tonight, we're diving into a story so explosive, so gut-wrenching, it's left the WWE Universe reeling. The headline screams, Triple H fires Liv Morgan and destroys her title reign after Wild Backstage. But this isn't just about Liv Morgan or a championship belt. This is about family, loyalty, and the kind of betrayal that cuts deeper than any steel chair. Buckle up, because this one's going to hurt. Enter Liv Morgan, the wild card, the women's world champion who's been on a tear with her revenge tour. Liv's story has been one of resilience, clawing her way to the top after years of being underestimated. She's not Bloodline, but her path crossed with theirs in a way no one saw coming. Her alliance with Dominic Mysterio and the New Judgment Day stirred chaos, and her title reign became a lightning rod for controversy. Liv's not just a champion, she's a disruptor, and the Bloodline doesn't take kindly to disruptions. The whispers started backstage. Liv's confidence, her swagger, rubbed some people the wrong way. She wasn't just holding the Women's World Championship, she was flaunting it, taunting her rivals like Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. But it wasn't her in-ring work that sparked the fire, it was something else. Something personal, something that crossed a line with the Bloodline. And when you cross the Bloodline, you don't just face Roman. You face the whole family. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. The tension built for weeks. Liv's promos got bolder, her actions more reckless. She wasn't just targeting Rhea or the Judgment Day, she was poking at the Bloodline's pride. Maybe it was a stray comment about their dominance. Maybe it was her cozying up to Dominic, who's been a thorn in the Bloodline's side. Whatever it was, it lit a fuse. Backstage, the air was thick with rumors. Wrestlers were talking, crew members were whispering. Liv had gone too far, and the Bloodline was ready to make an example out of her. Then it happened, the moment that changed everything. Halfway through a sold-out Raw, the cameras cut backstage. Chaos, shouting, a crowd of superstars and refs trying to pull people apart. Liv Morgan was on the ground, clutching her face, her title belt thrown across the room. And standing over her, Solo Sikoa, the silent enforcer had snapped. No words, just action. He'd attacked Liv, not in the ring, but in the shadows of the arena, where the real wars are fought. The crowd roared, but it wasn't excitement, it was shock. The footage is chilling. Solo didn't just hit her, he unleashed something primal. This wasn't about a match or a storyline. This was personal. Liv's screams echoed through the halls, and the camera caught a glimpse of Roman Reigns in the background, his face unreadable. Was he shocked, angry, or did he know this was coming? The WWE Universe was left with more questions than answers, but one thing was clear, this wasn't just an attack. It was a statement. Then came the bombshell. Triple H, the man who's been steering WWE's creative ship, stepped in. The chief content officer didn't hesitate. Liv Morgan was fired. Her title reign, one of the most polarizing in recent memory, was over. The Women's World Championship was vacated, and the wrestling world was left in stunned silence. Triple H didn't mince words in his statement, actions have consequences. Liv Morgan crossed a line, and the Bloodline responded. This is on her. But was it that simple? The aftermath was chaos. Social media erupted. Fans were divided. Some cheered the Bloodline's brutal justice, others cried foul, calling it an abuse of power. Liv's supporters pointed to her historic reign, her victories over legends like Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. They argued she was targeted, not just for her actions but for what she represented, an outsider challenging the establishment. The Bloodline, they said, couldn't handle a woman who didn't bow to their dynasty. Backstage, the whispers grew louder. Sources close to the locker room say Liv's firing wasn't just about the attack. There were tensions with management, disagreements over her character direction. Some say she'd been pushing for more creative control, clashing with Triple H's vision. Others claim the Bloodline had been lobbying for her to be taken down a peg, seeing her as a threat to their dominance. The truth? Probably a mix of all of it. Wrestling is a business, and egos are currency. The emotional toll on Liv must be unimaginable. She fought for years to earn the title, to carve out her place in a division stacked with talent. To have it ripped away, not in a match, but in a backstage brawl, has to sting. She's been silent since the incident, but those close to her say she's devastated. Liv's always been about proving herself, about showing the world she's more than just a good hand. This moment, this betrayal, could break her, or it could fuel the next chapter of her revenge tour. For the Bloodline, this is a turning point. Solo's attack wasn't just about Liv, it was a message to the entire roster. Cross the family, and you pay. But at what cost? Roman's leadership is under scrutiny. Did he order the hit, or is Solo acting on his own? The Usos, already fractured, are reportedly conflicted. Jay, who's been distancing himself from the group, was seen leaving the arena alone after the incident. Jimmy's loyalty to Roman is unwavering, but even he looked shaken. The family's legacy is at stake. The Bloodline has always been about unity, about blood being thicker than water. But this incident has exposed the fault lines. Solo's actions weren't just about protecting the family, they were about asserting his own power. He's not just the enforcer anymore, he's a wildcard, a man who could challenge Roman himself. And if the tribal chief can't control his own family, what does that mean for their dominance? The women's division is reeling too. Liv's firing leaves a void. The Women's World Championship is up for grabs, and names like Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, and Bayley are already circling. But this isn't just about the title, it's about the message. The Bloodline's actions have sent a chill through the locker room. If they can take out a champion like Liv, who's safe? The women's division, already a battleground of egos and ambition, just got a lot more dangerous. What does this mean for Triple H? The man who once revolutionized wrestling with NXT is now at the helm of WWE's biggest era. His decision to fire Liv was swift, but it's raised questions. Was it justice, or was it playing favorites with the Bloodline? Some backstage sources say Triple H is trying to maintain order, to show that no one is above the rules. Others say he's protecting the Bloodline's brand, knowing they're the biggest draw in the company. Either way, he's walking a tightrope. The fans are part of this story too. The WWE Universe has always had a love-hate relationship with the Bloodline. They cheer Roman's charisma, Jay's heart, Jimmy's fire. But they also resent the family's grip on the spotlight. Liv, for all her flaws, was a fan favorite for some, a scrappy underdog who fought her way to the top. Her firing has sparked a backlash, with #JusticeForLiv trending on social media. Fans want answers, and they want blood. The real question is what happens next. Will Liv return, fueled by vengeance, ready to take on the Bloodline? Will Solo's actions spark a civil war within the family? And what about Roman? The tribal chief has always been about control, but this moment feels like a crack in his armor. The Bloodline's story has always been about power, but power comes at a price. And right now, that price is trust. This isn't just a wrestling storyline, it's a family drama, played out on the grandest stage.